Alright, everybody, welcome to the final episode of CC1 in black and white. We are on Underground, we are on the final decade of the game, and I'm ready. I am ready to beat this set. So let's not dilly-dally. So we gotta go through Underground, which is probably amongst the easiest of the bunch today. Or probably the quickest. I'm not really doing it methodically at all, but that's kind of the whole premise of this Let's Play, is to just have a good time. Yeah, we can loop you for sure. And loop you as well. Yeah, I wore a perfect fitting shirt for the video, and of course I die as soon as I bring it up. Of course. But we are absolutely going to beat this game tonight. I have been looking forward to this moment to finally call CC1 done. So Underground was a very interesting level that was used for Walls of CC1. JB used the template. And I think he retained all the Paramecia paths. Oh, you got that guy looping. Not anymore. Got him looping though. You made a time crunch level, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. Actually, I think it's funny. I think I originally had Underground, and he had Pentagram, and me and him swapped templates. And I managed to come up with something pretty quick for a Pentagram. Alright, we just got the one dude. And we are off to the races. Alright, Underground done. Alright, Pentagram is next. Password you cry. Boy, do I want to. Walk the lines of this inscribed pentagram to avoid its curse. Alright, so I just went ahead and pulled up a solution path to this that I actually uploaded on CC Zone. I'm surprised it's not on the chip wiki. I should probably add it to the chip wiki pentagram page. This is not even the right path. I completely missed it. So even with the solution map, I still cooked it. Good stuff. Alright, but this is the right path. This is actually apparently the bold solution, too. Okay, so once I get this chip go up, and then go down around like this. And then it's pretty simple from here. It's just following the edge. And then cutting across right here to get the chip. Alright, Stripes is, not Stripes, Pentagram is done. We are moving on to Stripes, which I also have the level map open for, but not the path. I just have the map open. So let's just go ahead and knock this one out of the park as well. Alright. Because, yeah, I mean, I could sit here all day and oof on these invisible walls and play it authentically. But both you and I know we got much more exciting levels to play through once this is done. And even with the map, I can still miss a chip somewhere. But I think this one's done, so we can just zigzag all the way to the bottom right here, where that chip is at. I'm trying to see. Okay, we want to keep going this way. Go around that wall. And go around this wall. Down even farther. Okay, so I am in this. Okay, that's where I'm at. So I want to go down some more. Yeah, a little bit of an anticlimactic finale to this set. Gotta be honest here. But I can't tell which one. Okay, where am I at? First and foremost, where am I at? Am I underneath that wall? Right, let's go up this way. I can't tell which one's the dead end or not. I think this one's the dead end, actually. Zigzag through here. Okay, this is the dead end. Okay. Okay, where am I at? Okay, I got lost. Okay, I think that's where I'm at. Does this take me all the way to the bottom? It does. Okay, I already got that chip. As even with having a map open, I am still getting lost. I think we just want to keep zigzagging until we get to this chip. And zigzag all the way down here to that lonely chip. I almost said loner. I am almost positive I missed a pathway somewhere on the other side of the level. I sure did. Yeah, that one is surrounded by a bunch of invisible walls. Alright, I know exactly where I'm at, though. So we just want to follow this path all the way down here. And this will take us right to that chip. Alright, and that is all the chips collected for stripes. Now we just gotta get back to the bottom left and exit. Alright, stripes is completed. Good stuff. Not really. It's a big level with invisible walls. Who likes those? Okay, so I think with that level being done, I think we are in the clear to just close out of everything else. I think our solution maps and guides are over. Now for some action with fireflies. The supposedly last level of the set. Not really one I particularly care for. But we can get through it for sure. So I am recording this. Ooh, almost died to that. I am recording this literally right after the last video because I want to get this set done tonight.
Bummer.
And we are not going to get it done tonight if we're going to be dying like that. But we got to add our last deaths to the count, so gotta do what you gotta do. Let's go this way. Don't really like going against the flow. But it will make it easier. Because I think once we get to a certain point on this top half, we can just circle back around and collect the rest of the chips clockwise. Pretty sure this is how I always solved the level as a kid. Just because it felt easier. Okay, so with that chip collected, I think it's safe to go back around. Okay. I should really be looking at my screen on OBS because it's bigger and there's not much delay with it. But yeah, I am recording this right after the last video, so any comments I get on the last video I can't acknowledge because I just haven't even edited it yet. But I really wanted to get CC1 done in its entirety tonight. So that way the next time I record, we can tackle CCLP1. CCLP1 should be a lot easier and much more pleasant to go through than this set was. But let's not talk about that quite yet, because we still have some headache levels to deal with. Force field, I'm not looking forward to playing. But getting past fireflies will be pretty significant. Okay, collect that guy. I'm gonna wait. Yeah, I had a feeling there was a guy coming. Alright, the exit's right there. And I think I missed that chip from the top. So my strategy kind of immediately backfired. Yeah, I completely forgot to get this chip. No matter. Just backtrack a little bit. Duck out right there. I just gotta wait for that guy to pass. I knew he was coming. That did not just happen. That did not happen, man. Well, that is the CC1 death of all time. Even more so than the lucky timing ones from Slide Step. That one, I felt that one. I felt it right here, man. That one hurt. If I just didn't forget that one chip, we would have been fine. Well, I will see you back there.
Bummer.
Very disappointing sigh there.
Bummer.
Dude.
Bummer.
There's no way that happened. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? There's no way. Oh, there's the chip I forgot to get the first time. I don't know how I missed that. But that is the one that led to my demise. But we were basically playing the whole level counter or clockwise now. We just had to get chipped to the other side to properly start the level. So we can just do it all in one pathway. That was a little close. And so that's where we started. So we are halfway through it. We just have to be a little bit more observant of those fireballs. They're actually pretty hard to see in some ways. I did see those. I just took the chance to past them. Okay, I know a guy's coming. I could have made it, but I have accumulated enough deaths on this level. Almost accumulated another one. And there's our last chip right there by the exit. Alright, Fireflies is completed, and don't be fooled, because the show isn't over quite yet. But we will enjoy the intro, or not intro, the ending sequence. Get to see how this looks in black and white. Not too different. Alright, so now we go on to level 145. Tony. Alright, thanks to is our next level. For some reason I couldn't click on the thing. Can I not use my keyboard now for some reason? Alright, I guess we're gonna use the mouse for this one. Can you imagine if I did a can I beat CC1 but only use the mouse challenge? Please don't suggest that. I don't think I can handle doing that. I can definitely beat Thanks 2 with it, though. Special thanks also to the WEP 4 test team. Windows Entertainment Pack 4. Alright, easy solve. Okay, now I can use the keyboard again. That was weird. I guess I can't use the keyboard on Thanks 2. Strange. Okay, I kind of want to block that guy up if I can, because he doesn't really do me any good. There we go. You don't need the tank flipping, I don't think, for Cakewalk. So what's the best way to do this level? I haven't played Cakewalk in a long time. Well, that's not ideal. How about we do something like this? I'm actually not sure what I'm doing with the bridging, to be completely honest with you. I might be doing it completely backwards. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, I think I'm looking at it wrong. No matter. We can do it. Yeah, so I used Cakewalk in Walls of CC1. Yeah, it took a while to come up with an idea on what to do with it, but I ultimately settled for just a non-linear level where the goal was to collect... Initially it was to collect blue keys, but I later changed them to chips just to save on the hint space and just have a visible number of chips to collect instead of telling the player you have to collect 13 keys. If they function the same as keys, you might as well just use chips. Okay, I'm not a big fan of this setup, though. Actually, no, this kind of works. This actually does kind of work. Kind of made the letter H out of the blocks there. Alright, so now we can just bridge along that bottom path. Cool, just one more block over here. Alright, that side of the level is done. So now we can focus on this side. Always liked how it was just 4 blocks right there. It's like another writer's block situation. Just push you in the corner. And I might actually have to hit this tank button, because it is blocking a path to those blocks. Alright. Yeah, a little bit of an anticlimactic final CC1 video. I mean, that's mostly the game's doings, not me personally. This set, man, I mean, CC1 is just... I mean, by today's standards, it's pretty outdated. Like, there's no arguing that at all, I don't think. But I have to be real with you all. Doing this series just with CC1 by itself, definitely ignited a spark for me. I don't know if it's just having fun recording again or replaying this set in its original look that I've been so accustomed to all my life. A little bit in color, not in black and white. The black and white part is just to add a little bit of diversity for it. You know, I could have played this in color and people would have watched it the same way. But I don't know, man. Replaying this, I feel a spark in there. And I think it's just the nostalgia. Every time I've sat in this little section of the room and recorded this series in particular, you know, a lot of the thoughts I've had to myself is just remembering the good old days as a kid, where just go to grandma's house and play Chip's Challenge. You know, I obviously went over it. Loved my grandma. I miss her dearly. I know she's up there. up there in a better place to and looking down and seeing me still love this game after all these years, and she's always acknowledged that. You know, just to be a little real and kind of sentimental, I guess. My video, my rules. But I always loved playing this game over there and learning to design levels for it over all this time. It's a priceless memory that I'll take with me to the grave. Might not have the same vibe in black and white, but it's still just as fun in black and white. Okay, I think we need one of these blocks. We get our singular red key. I think it's a red key. And go walk across this mess. And exit with Cakewalk, and those are the last gliders or monsters we will see in CC1, because the next 3 levels have no monsters, just blocks, force floors, and bombs, mainly. And we are on to Force Field. This level is going to be a little rough, because I have to remember the timing. And gotta remember the double tap. Okay. Okay, so now we have to go that way. You go that way. I always thought it circled you around where the suction boots are. Kind of just want to hold it and see. Yeah, that's a good spot. All right. Okay, it circles me around this one. That's nice. So I can do this. Do I want to go around the outer edge? I don't think so. But is there anything else I can do? I can go this way. Or not. Yeah, I can't get the timing exactly right all the time. Okay, I couldn't do anything that way, so I guess that's fine. So I think we really do have to start it like this. Or maybe not. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay, so I can do... Oh yeah, I can start off right here. Okay, so most of the chips now are just on the right-hand side. I know there's one at the bottom I still need to get, but I might just get that towards the end of the level. Or maybe I can get it now. Yeah. I could technically get that chip if I do a backwards boost. Yeah, there we go. Not how you get it in Links, but we're not playing Links, so I don't really care too much. Alright. Saw that. Okay, how do I get that chip? I can do another backwards boost, but I don't really want to do that. No, I can't do it there. Yeah, I can't do a backwards boost there. What about here? What can I do here? Okay, good. Okay, that's the easy one to get. I missed my turnoff for both those chips. Doing better than I thought I would. I remember this being more of a headache, but maybe it just was a skill issue or something. I don't know. Alright, hold this down. Alright, I still don't know how to get that chip. Or that one. Oh, I know how to get that one. Alright, just one more to go. I know where it is. I know how to get it. I just have to get to a specific spot in order to even try to get to it. And that is not the spot I was hoping for. Always end up back here. Okay. How am I missing the timing? Okay, it's not up here. I keep thinking it's up there. I got that one. I know exactly where this chip is. There it is, right there. So in order for me to get it, I have to approach it from the top right tile right there. Oh, dude, come on. It's actually a little difficult to read the forest floors in black and white, I'm not gonna lie. At least I can't die in this. Like, that's the one benefit. You can't die because there's no time limit and there's no way to kill yourself. Okay. I wish there was another way to get that chip, but there just isn't. Nope, I missed it. That's a hard one. That's easily the hardest one to get. Ugh. Okay, good. I can duck out here. Oh, it's actually not that hard to get. Oh, dude, I keep missing the timing. No, I gotta. Okay, there we go. I keep thinking it's... Man, I keep thinking it's not that path. But it is. It absolutely is. Alright, one shot, man. Come on. Got it. Just send me to the moon. Get me out of the force field. Alright. Force field is done. That is the supposedly hardest level of the whole set, which 147 didn't really establish that in CC1. I don't think force field's as hard as I thought it was. But there's no real like definitive hardest level in CC1, I don't think. I guess Blob Dance if you really had to choose, but not bad overall. Just annoying timing practice is all this one takes. Alright, Mind Block. And this is just some mind-numbing block pushing we gotta go through. but pretty basic. It's kind of like a smaller version of On the Rocks. I wouldn't be surprised if whoever made On the Rocks also made Mind Block. I mean, that probably is the case. I don't remember what designers are known for in CC1 other than Ice Death and the levels with the signatures, like the PW and Block Factory, the Dung and Loop Around and stuff like that. Yeah, so not much to talk about. I mean, I'm really sorry. It's just the end game levels of CC1 are just, they're nothing to write home about. It's honestly really disappointing how this game ends. With just a lot of untimed levels, a lot of block pushing. Fireflies was at least interesting in the regard of it wasn't a block level. You know, then you had Stripes, which is, you know, once again, 90s difficulty. It hinged on things like this to be difficult. Once you have a map or a guide on how to solve something that requires a lot of steps or getting through a maze or something, it's trivial, you know? Alright, so that bottom section is done. So let's use this bottom part now to make a turnaround. And make the rest of this a little simpler. So unless I misstep into a bomb on this level, or I, touch a hot block in special, which I don't have a map open for that one. I don't know if I really need to, because it's not that hard of a level. But we should have less than 90 deaths, so I think this death counter was a lot of fun, was a very fun addition to this Let's Play format. I wish I started it off with that with Joshi, but can't win them all. At least I went back and watched all the times I did die to get as accurate of a count as I can to start it. This one, I was at least smart enough to have it ready before we started. Oh boy. So what can I say about CC1 that I haven't said already, that no one has ever said already? It's the game that started it all for us, guys. I mean, if you're watching this video, or if you've been watching this series, this is the game that made you want to watch it. I mean, of course, it's the same game, which is a CCLP 3 level, by the way, if you didn't know. I think playing through all the other CCLPs in this context will be pretty fun 2. I know in a long time ago I did it with CCLP 2 and 3. But I don't think I've ever played CCLP 1, 4, or especially 5 in MSCC. So we'll actually get the deck-in messages that pop up. Get the ending sequence for all level 144s of those sets. Let's put it right there. Yeah, don't worry. I'll fast forward through all this dead air because there really just isn't much else to say about CC1, man. I mean, anything else I could say at this point, I would just be repeating myself, and no one likes to hear someone repeat themselves over and over again. It's never fun. Okay, we got one last chip, the very last chip of the whole game. Because Special has no chips. I'm just gonna bridge, or make the path to both at once. Alright, there we go. The last chip of the whole set has been collected. We just got, I think, 2 bombs to blow up to get to the exit. Yep. And we are out of mine block. Alright. Level 149, special, password dig W. So if you all made it this far in this series or this video, let me be the very first person to say thank you for watching, thank you for supporting this crazy series that I decided to start doing. Only CC1 so far, but we are going to jumpstart into CCLP 1 and knock that set out. Probably as quick as we can. I think we can get through CCLP 1 in pretty quick success. I don't remember the hot blocks. Okay, that's not one. Would there be one on the edge? No, there wouldn't be one on the edge. Okay, this room I'm a little concerned about. Because any one of these could be hot. And I don't remember. I made Lumberyard out of Special's layout, and I kept all the blocks and hot blocks, but I couldn't tell you which ones are hot or not. That one is not. Can we get lucky? Just one block? I think this one was hot. Okay, good. We did not touch a single hot block. And with that, special is completed. And you can absolutely beat CC1 in the black and white tile set. Great job, Chip. You did it. You finished the challenge. Melinda herself offers Chip membership in the exclusive Bitbusters Computer Club and gives him access to the club's computer system. Chip is in heaven. You completed 149 levels, and your total score for the challenge is 5,899,670. You can still improve your score by completing levels that you skipped and getting better times on each level. When you replay a level, if your new score is better than your old, your score will be adjusted by the difference. Select best times from the game menu to see your scores for each level. Thank you all for watching. It means the world to me that this kind of content interests you guys. And I had a blast playing through CC1. Not so much the end game. The end game was really rough. But 90s difficulty, I get why it was like this. A lot of games in that time period were built around being difficult with long levels or levels that took a long time to beat. But, you know, I had fun playing through it again. I hope you all enjoyed this little series of CC1. And we will kickstart with CCLP1 here in about a day or two. Whenever this video gets uploaded. And we will blaze through that. CCLP1 should take even less time because the levels are much higher quality. It did not come right after CC1 either, so it's got that going for it too. And we can kind of play CCLP1 and kind of compare it to the original and to see how well it matches up to what the lesson level CCLP1 does, the levels that you play throughout that set compared to the ones in this set. I mean, there is no comparison, but just as like from a scaling perspective, from an entry levels perspective, But we ended up with 88 deaths throughout the whole show, which is funny because that's how many chips are in BlobNet. Which I think I only died 4 times on. I think the level I died the most in was Perfect Match, which surprises me. A lot of levels I expected to die a lot on just didn't happen. Blockbuster was very noteworthy of it. Blob Dance, BlobNet, and a lot of silly deaths that happened. And I wouldn't change any of them, how it went. But thank you all for watching. Love you all. Appreciate you all. And we will see you for Can We Beat CCLP1 in the black and white tile set.